Yeah. So for people who don't follow us on TikTok, please do. We need a lot of help there and Instagram while you're going to social. But on the Kindle version of The Housemaid, it says The Housemaid's Secret, a totally gripping psychological thriller with a shocking twist. And if that doesn't set you up for what this book is about, then nothing will. To the
Isn't that the
point.
same? Uh-huh.
Oh, go for it.
I was gonna say, isn't that the same summary as The Housemaid One? Everyone talked about the unbelievable twists.
Well, it's the fact that it's in like the title. It's like no
Is it
secrets
really?
here. Yeah, it's just so it's not in the title for the book, but it is in the title for the Kindle. And I was just like, I've never seen such a thing.
I love Frida.
I do too. She's so campy, and I think she's in on the joke.
I think so.
She's
I'm gonna
probably
be the
like,
hallmark of this.
so these little piggies will eat whatever I write. I'm gonna write the most ridiculous thing, and they're gonna buy it in 10 folds.
It's true.
And here
Oh
we
my
are.
gosh. I will I will read whatever she writes. And okay, so I've been listening to our Housemaid 1 series. Totally recommend if you haven't listened to it yet. Best 8 hours
Oh my
you
God.
could spend other than these 8 hours that we're spending with the Housemaid Secret. And it was so good. I felt like we were a lot more serious with that series though, probably just because that was the vibe we were in after lessons in chemistry. Our spirits had just been so pummeled to Middle Earth. It took a lot for us to climb out of there. And
It
on
did
this
take a
one, it's
lot.
just so fun.
Well, I think we didn't know what to expect with that book. Like I didn't
That's why
know. I
Frida
didn't
needed the
know.
longer title. People are taking this way too seriously. It's not
Way
that
too
deep. I'm
seriously.
going to start writing like a high schooler now so you guys really get the message.
Yeah. So so we laughed so hard on that previous
Oh
episode
my
that Chrissy
gosh.
edited it as quickly as she could so that we could both listen to it again. And I'm glad because I had forgotten half of what I said. But now that I've listened to it, I did toss out that I felt like Wendy was the big bad.
You did. You said Wendy is abusing Douglas. That was a great one. That was spot on.
And I felt bad about saying that because I'm like, from our perspective at the time, I'm like, she is a domestic violence victim, which is like really serious. But I was like, this woman is insane and I don't want to victim blame. I was like, but I'm going to victim blame. And this
But for
was the one
Wendy,
time
yes.
for Wendy. Yeah, this is the one time where it seemed it was okay to do that.
Well, okay. Yes, you are spot on there. I've also with my housemaid one revisiting. We were fighting so hard for Nina's redemption arc. We said Nina is trying to save Millie. We're like, why is she acting like this? Is she trying to help Millie? And we never once considered Nina was just evil. And now I'm realizing, like, oh my gosh, Frida did it again. Wendy is evil. We did not see it coming. For all we said about how this is copy paste, we are still so shocked.
It's like when you play rock, paper, scissors and the person picks rock, and then you do it again, they pick rock, and you're like, they're not going to do it a third time. They're going to change. It's like, no, it's rock every time. And then you lose.
That's exactly. Frida has found her rock.
She's just going to keep doing it.
We're gonna keep being surprised. Oh my gosh. I'm also okay. Another comparison I've realized is I feel like Millie is like Amelia Bedelia. Do you remember Amelia Bedelia?
Yes.
She's a little nanny and she like doesn't understand like any figures of speech. So there's something like dress the chicken. And she's like, I don't know how I'll find clothes to dress the chicken, but I'll try my best. And they come home and the chicken is in like a onesie and they're like, oh, Amelia, that's not what we meant. And Millie is
Yes.
just like, I feel like she should have all this world experience at this point, from being in jail to now living in the world again for years after. And she's like, I feel like she shouldn't be as blindsided by all these things as we are.
I'm realizing now that you said this is Amelia Bedelia for like adults. Because I'm looking at the Wikipedia page of Amelia Bedelia, the original, and it says on the top of a banner, I can read. So this is the second level.
Adult themes now, same
Adult
level of
themes.
reading.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
it should have a banner saying I can read right on the top.
Yeah, well, Frida had one banner spot and she could either say psychological thriller with a big twist or I can read. She maybe could have squeezed in I can read.
Frida might be, maybe she is doing like a cause, making America read again,
Really, she kind of is.
making the world read, international bestseller,
Just like us, international.
international. Yes. Okay,
Frida's doing the
so
public service.
she is. So last time we left off, where did we leave off? Had Millie killed Douglas? No.
No, no, no. We left off with you knowing about the Mets shirt and me realizing I hadn't read all the way.
So the Kindle will say what page it is. And so I had stopped at 260. And then you have the physical book and you stopped at 260, but it was off by like 2 or 3 pages.
It's not the same page. I see.
It's
That
not the
makes
same.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and 2 to 3 pages is like 5 chapters. So that's why a lot had happened when I didn't read all the way last time. So we left off with Millie sending a picture to Brock of her in her Mets shirt. And then what's his face? Doug calling immediately after and saying, hey, you want some Mets tickets? And she's like, how did he know? And then you're like, maybe Brock is their little spy. And he was just so excited to give them some details. He immediately messaged them and then she likes the Mets. Douglas was like, perfect.
Oh my God. Okay.
So we're starting way in space.
We are totally starting way in space. Maybe we should do our intro.
Oh, yeah, probably should.
Oh yeah, no updates on Book Olympics because it's only in real time. It's only been like 2 or 3 days. And that's not enough to change the rankings.
It's not enough for F. Smith to get all of her friends and family in the UK to listen to Bookalicious to change the order.
That's true.
Keep trying.
Keep trying. Yeah, don't stop. Don't stop. Okay, but let's do the thing.
All right. Well, welcome to Bookalicious. This is a podcast where two sisters chat about books we're reading. I'm Chrissy.
And I'm Candice.
And we are on part 3 of The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden, Making America Read Again.
Yes. Oh, you know what we never did actually? Is we never mentioned Guy 35 and our next book request.
We never did. Yeah. We could do a plug here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So Guy 35, another one of our favorite listeners, top tier fan. He left a review on Apple Podcasts, I think. And he said, and he had listened to the House in the Cerulean Sea series, and he said, oh my gosh, loved it so much. Could you do the next book by TJ Klune? And we said, a listener request. We listen to those pieces of advice. We'll do that.
Yes. Yes.
So I forget what the title is, but we're reading it.
Somewhere Beyond the Sea, part 2 of the Cerulean Sea. I placed my hold September 21st, almost immediately. And I'm 75th in line.
Oh my gosh.
I started at 86.
Ooh. I need to
So
place my hold. I've thought about it a
yeah,
few times. I just kept forgetting.
yeah. So we might have to do a book or two in between, but do know that it's in the pipeline.
Yeah. Thank you, Guy53. Was that his name?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe it's 3.5. If you go to Apple Podcasts, that's where the 5-star review was, you can see that wonderful review. And while you're there, you can leave another one. Oh, it's Guy56. Okay. You know what? We were doing it. We were doing the numbers.
All the guys loved the series
All
and requested number 2.
Yes, exactly. That's all you need to know. Okay, so now with that, let's get back to why we are here today.
To talk about Millie and her fall from job security.
Amelia Bedelia gets into
Whoops.
murder.
How did I end up here?
Amelia, I told you just to kill him with kindness.
Not with a gun.
Well,
Amelia Bedelia.
oh
Amelia
no.
Bedelia.
Yes. Oh my God. Well, Millie definitely got hypnotized by that gun because
That
the
was our
second
second
she
best
has,
prediction we've ever made.
yes, the second she has the opportunity to kill, she's ready. She flies to that house. She's like, I have my chance.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. So let's see here. What happens? Wendy, are we doing our high level summary? Or are we going to go through our
Yeah,
predictions again? I don't think our predictions really match up with this part, I'll be honest.
let's just get right into it.
Yeah.
People know.
Okay, so
The
big
people know.
they know what's gone down here. Okay. So Millie gets a call from Wendy and she's like, "I need help now." And Wendy's like, "I'm coming." Or was she there for her last cleaning? No, she went to go help Wendy, right?
So I think what
Maybe she's
happened
cleaning.
is
I think she's
that,
cleaning.
oh yeah, maybe it's her last
I
clean,
think, yeah, no, she's just doing normal house cleaning things, but then she hears an altercation happening in the bedroom.
which is insane. You kidnap his wife and he's like, can I have one last clean? Like,
Well, one of our big questions from last time, which I think is an excellent question, is Millie didn't work for them for a few days. At the same time, the wife disappeared, and Douglas is like, "No problem. You're not involved in this. Come clean the house again." It is like Millie doesn't have questions about that. I don't know. That was a weird there. That's a little bit of a hole in their watertight plan.
we're finding out that Millie's critical thinking, problem solving, very low. Very, very low.
Millie needed the
Her
books to read.
her only problem solving skill is to kill people. She's like,
I have the
I see,
solution.
I have a solution. It's worked every time.
Problem gone immediately.
Yeah. She's like, too many people in line, you just kill them. Boom. Now I'm at the front.
Oh my gosh. It's gotten her this far. So okay, so Millie's there. She hears the altercation in the bedroom and she's like, "Oh my gosh, Wendy, I need to save you." She's like, "This stops now." So she's gonna like bang on the door and confront Douglas. Yeah.
The timeout. This is where the lunch incident happened. So I had read even this chapter last time because I was like, oh, Wendy goes to lunch.
Oh,
And you're
I
like,
thought
I
we
didn't
had.
read that.
Well, okay, now they're talking about the lunch. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, they're fighting
Oh,
about this is what causes the altercation. He says, I saw this charge on the credit card. What is this? $80 for lunch at La Chipola? And then,
La Chipotle.
yeah, is it Chipoya? I don't
I
know.
have no
It's a different
idea.
language.
Her cuckoo
International
melons or
fans,
whatever.
weigh in. How do you say it? Yes. And so he's like, who told you you could leave the house, Wendy? Da, 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 da. Because I was like full on, am I having a stroke last time? Because I was mentioning, oh yeah, Wendy goes out. She went out to lunch. And you're like, I never read that.
I literally didn't.
Well, you hadn't. So that's why. Okay. So yep, this is what caused the fight.
Okay, yeah. So he's like, "Are you cheating on me?" And she's like, "No, no, it was my friend." And then um so she hears them having this really awful argument. Millie's like, "I need to go save them, save Wendy." And she's like, "And then I remember the gun." So she goes, she gets the gun that Wendy
She's
had hypnotized her
hypnotized.
with. It worked perfectly.
The hypnotizing word was Giselle, her friend. Once Wendy said Giselle, Millie was fully hypnotized, and she's like, "That's why I remember the gun," and she ran right
Gun.
to it.
Wendy is brilliant. Okay. So Millie's hypnotized. She gets the gun. She busts through the door. Um, Douglas is about to completely strangle Wendy. Wendy has gone limp. She's about to die. And Millie's like, "I don't want to kill him. I didn't want it to come to this." And we're like, "Yeah, you did, Millie."
Yeah,
And
you
then
did.
and then Millie shoots him right in the chest or something, right in the arm. And then he crumbles to the ground and he dies.
And there's a pool of crimson underneath him.
Okay, actually, I was just thinking about that. So there was.
Yeah. I think they did some movie magic.
He got his Whataburger ketchup packet.
Yeah. Well, because like what happens in the movie, because okay, not spoiler, but we will get to this. That's actually not the real Douglas. And they're
Mm-hmm.
staging a murder. So I think
Whoa.
I know, what probably happened is that he had like whatever was going to be their blood thing as like a little packet. And then you have like a little squeeze thing or something, or like a little trigger. And then that like opens it.
Yeah, well, that's kind of interesting though. I mean, it's a pretty good guess that she would shoot him in the chest, but like she could have shot him in the leg just to hurt him, you know? And then there's blood coming out of the upper parts. Like, what? Unless he like
Well, I know. I thought
moves it down
she was
really
like, I
quick.
tried to shoot him. And she's like, I tried to shoot him in the shoulder. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, Millie.
Oh
If
my
you want
gosh.
like,
You
okay,
were
I
an
never
inch
shot.
away. How did you miss the shoulder?
Right. Well, it's also like, okay, if you're trying to get someone to like let someone go, it's like either you shoot the gun up phew, to like let him know you're serious, or like you shoot him in like the foot, you try to like aim low, I would think.
I would
But
think.
like the arm, it's like if you miss, you hit the chest, you hit the head, like but she aimed, she's like, I thought I hit his shoulder for sure. And she's like, but no, it was like right in his heart.
Oh
He's probably to the
God.
side. It's probably not even physically possible. And she's like, how weird. So I think even if she had tried to shoot the leg, she still would have been like, how crazy. I aimed for his foot and I hit his head. Like, what?
Because she's Amelia Bedelia.
She's Amelia Bedelia. But I am seeing now that the pool of crimson spreads on plush carpeting. And I think that's gonna save us later.
Mm, that's very
Because
interesting.
yeah, which we'll get into. Okay.
Okay, so she kills Douglas. Wendy's like, "Oh my gosh, you saved me. He's dead. I can't believe he's really dead." She's like, "You saved me, Millie." Millie's like, "Oh my gosh, I know. I'm so great. I have a solution for everything." And then Millie's like, "Well, what are we going to do now?" And Wendy's like, "I've already dragged you into this enough. Don't worry. You leave. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to clean all this up. Fear not." And Millie's like, "Oh my gosh, Wendy's the nicest person ever." And then Wendy's like, "Hey, you should probably delete all of your text messages between me and Douglas, between you and me and you and Douglas. So, like, no trace." And Millie's like, "Brilliant. I'll do it." So Millie leaves out the back where there's no cameras. Um, and then Wendy takes care of business. And then Millie has a normal dinner with Brock the robot.
Oh, the
And she's
BrockBot.
the BrockBot. And she's finally gonna spill the beans to BrockBot that she loves killing people. But before she can do that, the police come, right? Is that how all this happens?
No, so he's like, "Hey, it's time for dinner." And she's
Oh, she's
fresh
like
off of a
not feeling
kill.
well.
Yeah, she's fresh off of a kill. And so she's like, "You know what? I have food poisoning." She's like coming out both ends. And you're just like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So
You got,
then Brock goes over there, right? Is that what happens?
or maybe she got food poisoning another time.
No, that sounds right. I remember the coming out of both ends part. Ah.
I've never read a book like this. Yeah, he says, I could bring you chicken soup. And she's like, oh, no. She's like, go away. And she's like, I just need to be alone.
It's coming out of both ends. Don't you hear me?
Yeah.
Another hilarious Frida line that was in the last section, but I didn't read it until this time, which is why I'm bringing it up now, is chapter 36. It's like close to midnight. Millie is like, she just needs to talk to someone. She wants to call Enzo. And she says, but I can't call him now. It's close to midnight. And if he sees me calling this hour, he'll
If he sees me calling at this hour, then what?
he'll definitely think this is a booty call. I do not want him getting the wrong idea.
Millie.
I love this book. She has her tricks. She has her booty calls. It has it coming out of both ends.
Oh my God. I know. And these men are obsessed with her.
Oh my God.
They're like never found better. She's so real.
Okay, so anyways, that's Millie. Does he end up going? Because I think I
No, she's like, I just need to be alone and recover. Rain check. And he's like, sure, get better.
okay, but I thought the detective was there when or the police come to her house and he's there with her.
She goes to sleep, and then
Oh, the next morning.
the next morning.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Wait, okay,
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. This is what happened. So the next morning, yeah, she wakes up and a police officer comes to her door pretty early in the morning. And he's like, hey, I have some questions for you about Douglas Garrick. And she's like, what? Me? Why? And he was like, I don't know. You worked for them. She was like, oh, I guess you're right. And then she calls BrockBot at this point and she says, hey, my boss died. No idea how that happened, but I'm going down to the police station. I'd feel better if I had a lawyer with me. Could you meet me there? And he goes, yes, absolutely. And so that's what happens. So he meets her
Oh
down
my
at the police
God.
station.
Now,
So
I think there's a line somewhere that says that when she wakes up, she has her hair is like a rat's nest. And she's
does say
and she's
that.
like in this. Yeah, I roll over in bed touching my rat's nest of hair. And then she's like, I'm coming. And then she wraps a house coat around her body. And then he's like, all right, time to go, like, get investigated.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay.
Millie not at her best.
No.
Okay. All right. So she goes to the investigation. Millie is like, nervous, but she's like, well, me and Wendy had a plan. Wendy we had this whole alibi worked out. I wasn't there the day of the murder. This is fine. So she's getting investigated by Ramirez, the detective, and Brock comes and he's going to be her lawyer. So she and Brock get a moment together before the investigation starts so she can talk to her lawyer. And Millie's like, I think this is a good time to tell you that I love killing people. And BrockBot is like, what? She's like, yeah, I do. And he's like, okay. And she's like, well, I guess I'll still be your lawyer. Wish you told me earlier. Right? What does he say?
No. So when she's like, that she already went to prison for murder and now she's already been convicted once and now she's being accused again. And he's like, no wonder you never got a college degree. I always just told myself you were a late bloomer.
Brock's like, all the algorithms said it's most likely you're just a late
You took a
bloomer.
gap year.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brock is not helping her.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, it gets way worse. So, interrogation happens. At this point, Brock knows Millie's history, so it's not going to be a surprise when it comes up in the investigation. Um, the detective is asking Millie all these questions, and he starts asking her really directly, did you have a relationship with Mr. Garrick? Like, were you having an affair with him? And Millie says, what? No, of course not. And then the detective pulls out like all these 20 pieces of evidence, and he's like, well, how do you explain this nice dress he bought you? And she said, oh, the $1 million dress I forgot to return that was just in my apartment. I forgot about it. And he was like, okay. He's like, well, how do you explain this bracelet? And she said, oh, Wendy just threw that at me because she didn't want it anymore. But the engraving says, to W, you're mine forever, from D. And
Oh,
Millie's real name is Wilhelmina. That
oh
one got past me.
no.
I didn't see that one coming. So then the
Yeah.
detective's like, it's to you. And Millie's like, oh my gosh, this does look incriminating. And then the detective comes out and says, well, Wendy said that you were having an affair with Douglas, and we have all these receipts of all these messages between you and Douglas at weird hours of the night, and we have all these gifts that he's given you. And um and Wendy said that she came home and she just saw her dead husband on the floor after you cleaned their house. And so now Millie realizes she's been bamboozled by Wendy. And honestly, at this point, I'm kind of surprised the word bamboozled didn't show up in these chapters.
Millie's like, I've been bamboozled. Oh.
Okay. Okay, but BrockBot lawyer becomes the worst because so one of the pieces of evidence of their affair is that Millie went to that sketchy motel randomly on a Tuesday and it was paid for with, or let's see. Somehow they're like, didn't you meet him there or something?
Yeah, she went there and she paid with cash,
Right.
and her fingerprints are on the gun.
Oh my gosh, lots of evidence. But the thing I wanted to say about the motel thing is that they raise up this event and they're like, you stayed at a motel. Like, weren't you meeting with Douglas? And she said, no, no, it wasn't like that at all. And then BrockBot goes, hey, that was the night we were supposed to have a nice dinner, but you stood me up. It's like BrockBot. You're supposed to be defending her.
No, he's an undercover FBI agent. No way would a lawyer do this, because a lawyer would say, that's enough. That's enough. We're not taking this
Mm-hmm.
anymore. Me and my client are leaving. But he's like, no. He's like, I need to find out all the evidence also. Honestly, though, maybe he does, because he's probably like, I'm worried for my life.
I mean, it is kind of understandable that he's a little shaken up right now.
Well, the worst part, so they find out that the phone that Millie thought she was messaging with Garrick is a burner phone. And the
Yeah.
last thing it says is, will you be over tonight? And then she says, I'll see you later. And then he's like, come tonight. And then she's like, all of my messages are deleted.
Oh my
And that's like,
gosh.
which I'm like, call the freaking phone company. They have the records. Come
Well,
on.
as we learned in Housemaid 1, Millie doesn't really know how phones work. So
And then she's like, I got rid of all the messages. And I'm like, why would you do that? And she's like, do you save all your messages? And it's like, yes. No one
she's
goes
only
in and
been there
deletes
like a month.
messages. I know.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Gosh, yeah, so things aren't looking good for Millie. I mean, it's a pretty good evidence that Millie is the one who killed him, especially since her
yeah,
fingerprints are on the gun. I mean, that's pretty major.
that's pretty bad.
Okay. But she doesn't get arrested. She gets to go back home. So that's something. Okay.
Well, and the worst part is that Brock is like, I cannot defend you.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
and she's like, that's it? You're breaking up with me? And he's
Oh my
like, I
gosh.
guess. And I'm like, if I was dating someone and I found out he had killed potentially two women, I'd be like, we're done.
Absolutely. I'm changing my identity.
I'm going into witness protection. Like, there's no way. And she's just like, I
Yeah.
can't believe it. You're leaving me at my lowest.
I know. You don't want me at my worst. You don't deserve me at my best.
Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
gosh. Okay, but the
Well,
biggest, oh yeah.
oh, no.
Well,
Go
so
for
the
it.
very last part in part one, this is the biggest twist of all, is that she turns on the TV and this is major breaking news that Douglas Garrick has died because he's like multi-gajillionaire. And they are flashing his picture on the news on the TV. And she's looking at him and she's like, wait a second. I've never seen that man in my life. She's like, I didn't kill him yesterday. I would have known. I know the people I kill. She said, who's that? Who did I kill? And so now we don't know.
We don't
And that's
know.
how
Dun,
part
dun,
one ends.
dun.
Okay.
Okay, so hint that I think BrockBot is in on it, or he's FBI agent, is that the second they get like a second alone together and they're asking about like the lawyer stuff, and he's like, do you know who killed him? And I was like, BrockBot, why would she know that? That's a crazy thing. Like, if she's innocent, why would she know who killed him? You know what I'm saying? Like, you
You're at
would
least
say,
guilty by association if you know, and
yeah,
it
I feel
wasn't
like you would
you.
say, you'd be like, did you do it? I mean, like, if anything, you would say, did you do it? Not do you know? I don't know. It was just weird to me where I was like, he's fishing.
Yeah. Okay. I think mainly after reading the next part, which we haven't summarized yet, but do you think Brock was hired by Wendy? Or do you think Brock was hired by Enzo?
Oh,
Because I was thinking one of those two things. Mainly Wendy.
I could see Wendy hiring Brock to kind of be like, keep her on the rails.
Yeah, like a little boundary thing.
Yeah,
Keep her in line.
yeah. And then maybe she works with Amber or something to get to fire
Hmm.
her.
Oh, that's possible. I don't know. The firing thing seemed Amber seems crazy, but yeah, no, that could make sense. Oh yeah, that could make sense. Okay, do we want to summarize the next part? Do you want to talk more about just this part?
Let's just talk more about this part.
Okay, all right, because what I have to say about Brock, I think, comes up more in the second part. So
Okay.
at this point, I was just like, Brock, terrible lawyer.
He's probably like a corporate lawyer.
Yeah,
He's
it probably
probably
doesn't do
not a
murder
murder.
cases.
Yeah, he's probably not a murder lawyer. Those are very different. He's just like, Millie, did you do tax fraud? And she's like, no. And he's like, I'm out of my element. Like,
That's all I know.
that's all I know. So, did you think before we found the reveal that Wendy was setting her up? Like, when did you figure it out?
Okay,
Or was
all
it a
right.
surprise?
So, so let's see. I was surprised. I was surprised. I'm like, we should have seen it coming. This is how it always is. The woman is never actually just helpless. She's like the mastermind. Okay. But I did have some predictions where I was like, which looking back, I'm like, oh, that was a good prediction. Because when she killed Douglas, it felt very strange. I'm like, there's still half the book left. Like, this man isn't dead. This isn't real. And so I
Mhm.
thought that maybe the bullets were fake. Spoiler, they are fake. So that was a good one.
Ooh, that's a
And
good
then the
one.
way, yeah, yeah. And then the way Wendy was acting was very strange.
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't think though that Douglas was a fake. I didn't think, yeah, that thought didn't occur to me.
I didn't think Douglas was a fake. I didn't think the bullets were fake. I thought he was dead. But I was like, somewhere along, I was like, Wendy is setting you up. Oh, when she was like, delete all your text messages. And all of a sudden she knows all the
Oh,
cameras are fake. And she's like, oh yeah, these cameras, like there's none in the back. And I'm like, why do you know all this?
that's a great point. I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah. When she was like doing all that, I was like,
Yeah, you're right. Because 2 weeks earlier, she was like, there's cameras everywhere. You don't even know the technology he has, he's capable of. And now
I
she's
know.
like, oh no, I debugged the whole thing. I
Well,
control it on this
yeah,
little
because
app.
Yeah, last week she was like, he has unimaginable technology. He can find us anywhere. And this week, and like, even still, they say all their plans inside the
Oh my
apartment.
gosh.
And then this week she's like, oh yeah, they're just decorative. And by the way, there's no camera on the back entrance. I'm like, what?
Why didn't you go out that way when you were escaping? I mean, yeah. In hindsight,
Yeah.
craziness.
Yeah. So I said deleting text doesn't make it go away. That's another thing. Is that deleting text doesn't make it go away. Wendy's setting her up.
Mm.
Because again, all you have to do is call the phone company and then you get the full record of your incoming and outgoing texts.
That's true. Yeah, why didn't Brock the lawyer know that either? Probably because it is
Honestly,
tax
he
law.
would he if it's because he's not an FBI agent, if he's legit just like a boyfriend, he is probably just like, I am so entranced with this woman. I need to hear all the bad things so that I can finally break away and go to safety.
Yeah. He's like, I'm defending myself now.
Yeah.
I represent me and all the Brock bots. Our Brock army is in danger.
Oh my God. So Millie's hypnotized, so this makes sense. But in her mind, her like conscious self is like, put down the gun, Millie. Handle this without it. You're making a terrible mistake. And then she says to herself, but it's too late. And I was like, Killy gonna kill.
I know. I was like, oh my gosh, Millie. And she told trying to end this altercation. She brings in a gun and she says, "Hey, get off her. Get off her." And he doesn't do anything. She says, "I'm going to shoot." And he doesn't move. I'm like, "Well, you didn't even try like pushing him off." I mean, she broke the man's rib the other day. Like
Yeah.
it seems like she could try to use physical force. I guess Wendy looked like she was on the verge of death though. So
I
potentially.
mean, if he has both his hands around her neck, you could come with the gun behind and right on the head,
Oh,
knock
that's
him.
true. Yeah. Yeah.
What is that called? Pistol whip? You could hit him on the head or
Sounds
something.
right.
Those things are fairly heavy, I think. And then the only way that he could defend himself is if he let her go, and then you have two of you. You know,
Mm,
I can understand like not
yeah.
thinking of all that, but I feel like if it were me, this would never happen to me. But if somehow I got here, I was hypnotized, and then I came to at this moment, I think what I would do is I would shoot the gun like out the window or through the ceiling to kind of
Mm,
like a warning shot, kind of.
yeah. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, unless you just thought you really didn't have any time. Like she's going to die in 2 seconds if you don't do anything. That's where I could
Yeah.
see like, okay, maybe you do just go for the kill. But
Oh my God.
so okay, I'm looking back on my predictions now that I'd written down. I did think when I found out that Douglas, when she didn't kill the real Douglas, it seems,
Hmm.
I was like, oh my gosh, did Wendy bring a fake guy to pretend to die so she could get money from Doug's life insurance? That was a good prediction, but I had no idea who the fake guy was.
No,
And
I had no idea. I had no idea.
what did you think
So
when
that
you saw
was
that Doug wasn't real?
chapter, let me see. All I put was Wendy and her boyfriend set up Millie. I was just like, oh, I said, oh God, I hope it's not a twin. I was like, I hope we're not going into he has an identical twin who's hotter than him or something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But
that's a
I was
pretty good
also
guess though.
in this book, yeah, that I'm surprised it wasn't like spot on. But the other the other part that I was thinking is like, how did she never like Google this man to see what he looks like?
Well, okay, it actually gets answered in the next section. He
It
had
does. So
taken
luckily it does
oh,
get
yes, yes,
answered.
it does.
But yeah, that was something I was thinking at this point. But yeah,
I
go
didn't even
for
think
it.
about that. That's a good thought. But yeah, we find out in the next section that the real Douglas has taken down all of his pictures from the internet because he probably doesn't like being famous. He doesn't like being recognized.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
The other thing that I thought about is that had Millie introduced or brought Brock around, he actually knew who the Garricks were.
That's true. You'd been like, that's not Doug.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Wow, Doug got really hot in a hair transplant."
Yeah. I mean, maybe he would have just thought like, oh, he must have been hitting the gym or
Yeah,
something. So, but yeah, you're right. That possibly could have worked.
he would have
Hmm.
at least said, "Wow, he's been hitting the gym. He's looking way different," you know.
Mm-hmm.
But Amelia Bedelia over here, she would just be like, "Oh yeah, I guess so."
Happens.
At the start of 40, I highlighted, this is Millie to herself. Now I just have to deal with the fact that I killed a man again.
I was just
And
looking for that line. Crack me up.
I know, I said, Killy has been satisfied. Now she's Millie again. She's like, got like the evil demon, it's been fed. So now she can just be a person again until it builds up and she needs to kill.
She's like, oh, bummer, I did it again.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so at this point, would you have called Enzo? Would you have called Enzo's guys who can get you a new identity?
I don't know. She's done this so many times and she never gets caught. She'd probably be like,
I have
another
no idea
successful
how.
day at work. Yeah. Like a job well done.
Yeah.
Like she's so delulu about how to get away with murder. I mean, but maybe not because she's done it so many times.
I know. Oh, I think it was Enzo. Enzo was the reason to her Amelia Bedelia.
Yeah, he was able to,
That's why they're such a good match.
yeah. Well, I know. And the other thing is when they were like searching her apartment, she's like, thankfully I didn't get any blood on my clothing last night. I checked. And I was like, what about gunpowder, boo-boo? Like
Oh,
that's gets all over you.
I would never have thought of that. That's a good point.
You got to get rid of everything. You got to do a full chemical peel as soon as you're done. Everything goes, even the top layer of your dermis. Like you got to start fresh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Millie just seems surprisingly ill-equipped for this, considering it was her professional job for a few years.
She's done it so many times. I'm like, how can you not be better at this?
How did she leave Wendy to solve it? Who's you would imagine has never killed anyone before. How is Wendy gonna do a good job at hiding everything? I feel like at that point, Millie should have been like, don't worry, I'm gonna call Enzo. He's gonna help us out of this.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah. I think
back
that's
to
what
her
I would
game,
have
where did they
done.
go wrong? That's where they went wrong.
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly right. Because it's like Wendy has already proven that she is not good at this getaway thing with her two
Oh my
suitcases
gosh.
in her grand
Out the front
escape
door.
out the front door. Oh, and that's another thing. Is that she went out the front door and then now she's saying, "Oh, the back door has no cameras." And you're like, "Well, where was this tidbit of information when we were doing the grand escape?"
I know. I think that's a misstep on Wendy's part because she's like, she should have kept up the thing of like, I have no idea what's happening.
Right. Exactly.
But so I don't that's a little bit inconsistent. I'm thinking that's a mistake on Wendy's part.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I think so
So
too.
yeah, but yeah, exactly. Not good. But yeah, Enzo should have come. Where else did they go wrong? Anything else that we haven't already said?
I think like so at this point Millie gets all they get to the motel part with the cash, they have the bracelet, and then she's like, I don't know what to say. I don't want to give away Wendy's secret. If they find out they have marital problems the Garricks were having, the murder could get pinned on her. And I'm like, too bad. Like,
Yeah.
and go for it.
Yeah. No, I didn't have anything to say. You finish your thing.
And I was gonna say, the murder has only happened like maybe 8 hours ago, and they have a bucket of evidence. I feel like Wendy mailed them, mailed them a little "the housemaid did it" kit, being like, she's probably like, I know who killed it. It was the housemaid. They were having an affair. He bought her this bracelet and this and that. Like she probably called them immediately.
She had that email typed up already and was like, send.
She had it delay send. She already had it scheduled.
Schedule
She's a
send.
professional. She's a professional. She knows how to do a plan and get it done.
Wendy's so good at this.
Yes.
And Nina was
Wendy.
so good at it.
Yes.
Millie's the only one with experience.
Ugh. Ugh.
Oh my gosh, you're so good at the mastermind. Uh, okay. Oh shoot, what was it that had come to my mind? Oh man,
The
it had to do
marital
with
problems.
the marital
Before.
problems. Okay, yeah. Why doesn't Millie bring that up at the end when the detective is like, well, we have all this evidence of you having an affair, and Wendy is the one who gave us all the evidence. Like, Wendy has sold her out at this point. Why doesn't she say, this isn't real? Let me tell you the truth. I saw Wendy beat up every day.
Well, she eventually does. So in
Oh, she
44,
does?
she says, it's it's a throwaway sentence. So, but she says, I try to patch together some version of the truth, a version that doesn't end with me shooting Doug. I explained Doug was abusive to Wendy and my attempts to help her, tell him that Wendy had shown me the gun and was using it for protection. And that's how my fingerprints must have gotten on it, which I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But she's like, why aren't Wendy's fingerprints on the gun?
Wendy used gloves like a normal person. Why didn't Millie get
Yeah, I
gloves
know.
before she grabbed the gun?
I know.
Amateur
Again,
hour.
amateur hour. You are supposed to be a paid professional. I expect better. Your Yelp review, 2. Maybe 1. You're getting caught. Like, I hired assassin. This is not what I'm looking for.
Meals, excellent. Murder left some to be desired.
Ugh.
Oh my gosh.
Millie drops a little line. He's like, um, Brock's like, you were cheating on me. And she's like, I wasn't cheating on you. I'd never cheat on you. I was like, okay, yeah, right. And then he's like, well, what were you doing last Wednesday night? We were supposed to get dinner. You blew me off. And he's like, you must see how this all looks pretty suspicious, especially since you apparently killed a guy once. And then she says in her mind, well, not just once. And I was like, 1,000 times.
Weekend activity.
Uh,
Oh
so
my
one
gosh.
thing that doesn't make sense is that if they looked at the murder scene and they investigated, they should see we would expect 2 pools of blood. One in the office where fake Doug, got murdered.
Oh.
And then the other where we find out in the next section where he does die, which is on the couch.
Oh.
And it was in thick plush carpet. So it's like, that's not something that's going to, though it's like fake blood, that's not something that's going to be easy to get out.
That's a great point. Okay, so at this point we finished part 2 and we know that real Doug has been murdered, as far as we can tell.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what they do with the body exactly. We don't know exactly how the rest unfolds. Potentially, could they have carried him to the room? They would have had to make sure no blood gets on the everywhere else, but that seems unlikely.
Well, it would
That's
still
a
be on the
great point.
couch.
Um,
Now maybe it's like
maybe it's in the
it's
front,
not
not
like,
the back. I don't know.
no, I mean when you shoot someone like that, she shot him like she wanted to shoot him in the head. Like she wanted to JFK brains out. Like she very vindictive. I don't think it was clean. But the other thing is that maybe the rug is like a roll-up rug. It's not like carpet.
Oh, that's
Like maybe it's
possible.
a rug, not like carpet. But she said thick plush carpet, which makes me think legit carpet.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to get resolved. Yeah, as they cut it out or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
Well, I
she spills a
have.
bottle of wine right on top of it.
Oh, that could be. She's like, I was so distressed. I spilled this whole bottle of wine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I could see something like that. But yeah, I feel like that's going to come up again.
That's a really good point.
Mhm.
Yeah. Ooh, what other holes are going to come up?
Well, I have a big one, but I think we should get into the next
Okay.
the next
So
segment.
we're ready to summarize part two.
Yep.
Okay. So part two, should have seen this coming. I mean, we knew there's going to be a perspective flip. We didn't even talk about that last time.
Yep.
Wendy had to have had another dimension. Anyways, so now we get to hear from Wendy, and it turns out she's the mastermind behind all of this. So she is just a poor small town girl who wanted to have money, and she comes up with this however many step plan to get rich quick. And her plan starts with meeting a man who's filthy rich and is single. And so she meets Douglas Garrick at an art show. She's kind of planned this whole thing. She makes him fall in love with her. He's a gajillionaire because he's like CEO of Apple and Google and every tech company.
Yeah.
So now she's fabulously wealthy. Um, and she marries Douglas, and she's like, he's nice enough, but like with my help, he can be really amazing because I'm going to fix him into the guy that he could be.
Well, we find out that Wendy hates fat people.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's true. She does.
Douglas seems like a delight, and he likes to try new
I
foods,
love Douglas.
and he likes to travel, and he likes to be generous, and he likes to be
Yeah.
kind. And those are the things that kill Wendy. She hates that.
Oh, Wendy, I mean, Wendy, I think, is the worst character Frida has ever written. Like the most
Oh
evil
my God.
character.
Truly, I wrote monstrous. Like,
Yes, she is. We have a lot of
terrible.
monster lines. Okay, so they get married. Before they officially say I do, though, Douglas's friend, lawyer friend, is like, hey, you need to get a prenup, Doug. You're worth too much money. Even if you trust Wendy, you just need to sign it to make sure you don't lose everything you have. And he's like, oh, Wendy would never do that. Anyways, friend forces Wendy to sign the prenup. The prenup says that if they get a divorce, Wendy will get $10 million, but that's it, instead of like half of his wealth.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and Wendy's like, okay, fine. I guess I could live off of 10 million if this doesn't work out. Um,
Right.
they stay married for like, a few years, and she's trying to change him the whole time. She tries eating him or feeding him just pieces of iceberg lettuce. And she's like, isn't this delicious? I feel so full. And he's like, no, I'm going to KFC. And she was like, ugh, disgusting. Yeah, so
She's
Douglas is
basically
not
like,
here for it.
she's basically like, I got a fixer upper of a husband, and she's trying to fix him up, but
Yes.
he's like, I don't want that. And we find out she's so thin, which Billy describes as like gaunt, hasn't eaten in
Dangerously
months, and it
thin.
dangerously thin. And it turns out that's just her normal.
I know. I know. I was like, is that what?
She she has an
Yeah.
eating disorder, and she wants Douglas to also have it.
Yeah.
Like that.
That is what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, not great. So that's happening. Wendy, some of the most outrageous things. Douglas is like, "Oh, let's get a nice big house in the suburbs so we can be away from all the hustle and bustle of the city, and it'll be so nice and relaxing." And Wendy's like, "Ew, who likes the suburbs?" She's like, "If we're doing that, then we also need penthouse mansion in the city." And he's like, "What? We already have an apartment in the city." And she said, "It only has 4 bedrooms. I need minimum 6."
Uh,
And anyways, she eventually convinces him to get their beautiful penthouse apartment that Millie's been cleaning, partly by convincing him, like, oh, well, we'll have so many kids one day, we'll fill it up. And he's like, okay, fine.
uh,
Oh, we later find out she can't have kids. So it's all a lie. Okay.
all a
But
lie.
anyway, all a lie. So they clearly he likes her, she does not like him. They spend more and more time apart. She decorates the whole penthouse apartment. She wants to get beautiful antique furniture. She runs into Douglas's secretary, and the secretary is like frumpy and Wendy like hates her just as much as she hates Douglas. But the secretary is like, "Oh, you're buying furniture? You should see my husband's store. Like we have antique furniture. You'll love it." And Wendy's like, "Ugh, maybe I can throw the peasants a few crumbs." So she stops
She literally
by.
says something like that.
I know. Yeah, no, she is terrible to these people. She goes to the furniture store, realizes the furniture is beautiful, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is exactly what I've always wanted." And then she realizes that Mr. Secretary, what's his name?
Russell.
Russell's also beautiful. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, Russell goes to the gym. Russell probably also eats iceberg lettuce for dinner. He's perfect."
She says he is Douglas 2.0, while my husband is barely even the beta version. He's like,
Oh
no.
my gosh. Oh, Wendy. Okay. So at this point, Doug spends most of his time in their beautiful suburban house to be away from the city. Wendy spends most of her time in the apartment. Wendy's like, perfect. Now I can have an affair. So she starts getting dinner with Russell. And then Russell ends up going to their penthouse apartment. They're sleeping together. It's all very out in the open. And she's like, oh, wow. And my stupid husband, Doug, has no idea until one day Wendy's credit cards get canceled. And she's like, oh, how am I going to afford all my nice things? Anyways, this makes her drive out to the suburban house where Doug is. She realizes that Doug has known all along because they've just been tramping around the city together out in the open. He canceled her credit cards. She's like, fine, I want a divorce. She then realizes that there's a special clause in the prenup that says if Wendy cheats on Douglas, then she doesn't get any money in the divorce. Then Wendy's like, well, fine, then I'm going to stay here forever. And he said, okay. Right? Is that just what he
Yeah.
said? Yeah.
Um, it's like it's weird. The whole thing with Douglas is so weird because he comes across as just such an idiot. But then all of a sudden he's like, I actually wanted the prenup and I made my lawyer pretend like it was his idea so you wouldn't be mad about it. And I've known everything that you've been doing. And she's like, what? And she's like, oh my God, you are smart. And then he's like, oh, but let's get back together. And I'm like, it's weird. He keeps like waffling.
A little bit. Although I thought him coming up with the prenup idea and putting in that clause, I thought that was actually really, I thought that fit because he did come up with this like super incredible technology that made him a gajillionaire and he's CEO of these businesses. I'm like, he has to be at least like tactical or like,
Yeah.
logical.
I feel like he is smart. I feel like the smart part of him makes sense. It's him being like
Still
totally
wanting to
okay.
be with Wendy.
Yeah, because like he's like, oh, we have this. She's been having this long torrid affair. She's like, let's get a divorce. And then he's like, I think we should go to marriage counseling. And he's like, I'm gonna make time for us. And then she's just like, okay, now she needs to lay down the hammer. And then she says, years ago, I had an infection that destroyed my fallopian tubes, which I'm like, that is a way to say it. You could just say like I can't have kids, but she's like destroyed my fallopian tubes, gone. It's not happening, Doug. And he's just like, wait a minute, we've been trying, he said, for like 5 years to have a kid. And he's just like, what? And then I think he says that's when he like drops the thing about the prenup and how it was his idea. And then he's like, I put hidden cameras in the apartment. And then you
Oh
find out, I'm
yeah.
like, he's like a master evil genius too. But I'm like, why were you okay with, you know what I'm saying? It just, I don't know, it doesn't fit to me.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That is a little bit weird because especially since it seems like 10 million really is kind of like pennies to him from what it seems like for his wealth, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like why not just okay, fine, end it there. Um yeah, unless I don't know, but he also just seems like really sweet kind of guy who's like we can make this work. There's nothing so
It's
bad that we can't come back from.
it's a very confusing character. because I don't know like what's his real intention because it's like if he's like the nice sweet guy who just wants to have a nice life, then it would make sense that he would just pay off this evil person and be done with it. But then he's like, no, you get nothing. Now he's going to be like kind of vindictive. And then you find out he's been spying on her this whole time. And you're like, that's weird. Instead of like saying something, he's just been spying on her for months.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm not going to give you any credit cards and I'm going to be selling the penthouse and da 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 da. And you're going to, like now he like wants to make her pay, which is like, I understand that feeling, but it's like based on everything else that he's described as, it doesn't fit to me.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, you're right. It is a little bit strange. Huh. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess with the camera thing, it's like, yeah, okay. So I guess maybe he isn't as sweet as we think because he needed proof of their affair so that it would hold up in court and she wouldn't get 10 million if they got divorced.
I just feel like the cameras in the apartment for months, like that's weird.
Yeah. Well, okay,
That's
and
weird for
I'm
like a really sweet person to do.
yeah, right, which is why I'm saying he's not as sweet as we thought. And I'm looking back on it, and he's actually going to put the penthouse up for sale in a few months.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And he cut all her credit cards, so she has no money.
right. Right. So she's had money saved up from like selling jewelry and clothes, I think. Or like
Yeah.
she starts doing that after this so that she does have money. But yeah, it's weird. He's like he's pushing her into a corner so that either she goes to marriage counseling or she signs the divorce papers. Is that it? Is he trying to
I
just make her sign
guess.
the divorce papers? Because
I
now
think
she's just
so.
refusing. Although I wonder if
Yeah.
he would pay her 10 million or like 5 million, 1 million if she would sign it.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Because he's like, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for you to sign it. That's how she lures him into the apartment when she kills
Yeah.
him. He's like, finally, you're gonna sign it. And you're just like, I get like maybe being like, I don't want to be a guy who like loses or something. I don't know. I
Right.
guess what I would just say is that both, it's like Jekyll and Hyde, and both of these sides make sense, but not together.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
It is a little strange. And then another thing that comes up is that um Wendy, she's like, I hired an expert to find all the hidden cameras and dismantle them. And I'm like, Douglas would know that they've been disconnected and he would just put in new ones. Like that, I don't know. That to me doesn't make a lot of sense.
I mean, what else would he have to spy on though? Because he already has all the evidence of an affair, which is what he wanted. He probably doesn't just watch Wendy for fun,
I guess that's true.
I would think. But he maybe should have because weird stuff is going on over there.
Yeah, I know. But did you ever watch Ozark?
No.
Oh my God. Ozark is like Breaking Bad peak TV. It's like a Netflix series. It was one of their most popular. The reason why I bring it up is that it's about this family, the Birds. Actually, is that their last name? I think so. Anyway, the wife, her name is Wendy, and she starts off and she's already terrible. And it just goes on and on and on. And she just descends into like the most hated character probably on TV. And she like gets involved with all this like drug stuff and like, they end up calling her Wendy Bird, Wendy Bird. And so reading this with this Wendy, I was like, same vibes, same vibes. The worst.
Wendy consistently bad.
She's like, every day I cross my fingers that while Douglas is walking down the street, he gets hit by a bus.
Oh
That
my
happens all the time in the
gosh.
city. Why can't it happen to my husband? Like
Oh my
literally.
gosh. There, okay, yeah. I mean, the Wendy lines are just so crazy. Let me see. I had some. Oh my gosh. There was some hilarious line where she was like she was trying to tell Douglas something and she was like, "Ugh, it's like he couldn't even understand me. It's because I wasn't speaking in Java or Klingon."
She does say that. That's so funny.
I thought that was hilarious.
She is like Scooby-Doo villain level of evil, and it's like kind of comical.
Yes, she is.
So like when she first meets Mary Beth, the secretary, who is the wife of Wendy's soon-to-be boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
she's just like, "Oh, hi, Wendy, how are you?" And this is Wendy's dialogue. I'm slightly taken aback by her familiarity, but I'm reminded of how, when I was poor, the daily lives of the incredibly wealthy used to fascinate me. It's just like, oh my God, this woman.
And then she says something like, remember, I'm your boss's wife. Call me Mrs. Garrick or
Yes,
something.
that's how she ends the conversation.
Yes. Okay, at this point though, so the white Mary Beth smiles when Wendy says that. So I'm like, are Mary Beth and Doug having an affair? Of like, and maybe that's why he's like, whatever, Wendy, you do whatever you want. I'm doing whatever I want too. Because she seems like Doug has been telling Mary Beth how awful Wendy is. So Mary Beth knows everything. And she's like, yep, can confirm Wendy is just a monster.
Yeah, it's possible, but that what wouldn't make sense is like, why does Douglas keep trying to like make it work? The therapy, at that point, he would just
Yeah.
divorce her
Yeah, that's a good point.
and give her the 10 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
But
don't know.
I mean, it's a Frida book. Anything can happen.
Yeah. Unless is he trying to put that up as a front to like wanting to go to therapy is also and him still loving her? Because that's one of my questions. Is how is someone who's as nice as Douglas, how does he like Wendy? That doesn't make
I don't
sense.
know. Does he just think she's super hot and he's just fine with all of this?
I it feels like he's just like marriages for life, so we're gonna make this work no matter what. Or like we're gonna try to figure this out. Divorce isn't an option, kind of thing.
It also seems like his standards for marriage is very low and he's like in his mid 40s, 50s. And I'm like, how have you not been married before if your threshold for a partner is so low and you're so committed? Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe his first wife
Right.
died. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe his first wife was Amber.
Whoa, that's his kid? No,
I don't
kid's
know.
too young. That would be interesting. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, kid is
Amber's
too
got to
young.
come in. Amber's got to come
We'll
up
see.
somehow.
This is a funny line. This is when I was like, she's in on the joke. So when Wendy's like, here's the iceberg lettuce that's lightly dressed. Well, I had a line for
Oh
that too. She
yeah.
said, it's a fat-free vinaigrette. I can't see it. It's colorless. And I'm like, it's also tasteless. It's actually just air. But
Sprinkle
then
of water.
Douglas is a sprinkle of water. Yeah, a sprinkle of water. Oh my God. Then Douglas was like, I'm going to KFC. And she's like, ew. And he's like, come on, we'll do the drive-through. It'll be fun. I heard they have a sandwich where the bun is made out of fried chicken.
Ah.
And then she's like, ew, no. Then it ends with Douglas gives me a sad look. He leaves the house, gets in the car, and drives off, presumably to get a sandwich with a bun made out of fried chicken. That was so funny. She's just so disgusted by him.
She is. Oh my goodness. Wendy. Uh, okay, there was a line where I was like, "Oh, Candy saw right through this one. You and your housemaid knowledge and rich people knowledge,
Mhm.
you saw it." Because okay, so in the last episode, you said how like how do they have linoleum in their bathroom? Are they actually poor? And then there's a line, let me find it.
Oh, I missed that one. I don't even know what
He's
you're gonna
well,
say.
basically, she's just talking about how how Douglas Garrick is so not put together and he wears Walmart shirts and suits that don't fit. And she was like, you would never guess he was the most richest man in the country.
You're right. He was probably like linoleum. Let's do wallpaper floor. That's what this
Linoleum or
$1 million
bust.
penthouse. Yeah.
Yeah. Wendy was like, you get to do one part of the penthouse, the bathroom.
Oh my
He said,
God.
okay, linoleum. It's where I'll murder you.
Okay, so now Wendy she set everything up. Her and Russell are like, we're gonna do the thing. How far did your summary go? Through
Well,
all of
okay, yeah.
this?
So some key things that we haven't talked about yet is that if she divorces Doug, she doesn't get anything because she cheated on him. If he dies, she gets everything because she's next in line.
Mm-hmm.
So now she's like, okay, well, maybe I'll just do that. So she is still with what's his face? Russell. And
Yeah.
conveniently, one of her rich, I don't know, housemaid or no, housewife friends, they're having lunch together. And the other rich lady was like, oh my gosh, want to hear the tea on this lady, Ginger Howell? And she was like, Ginger was being slapped around by her husband, but Ginger hired Millie. Have you heard about Millie? And Wendy's like, what? No, who's this? She's like, oh my gosh, only the hottest housemaid in all the land. And she's like, Millie gets hired by women who are in difficult situations with their husband, and Millie helps get them out. And okay, this was crazy. Wendy hears this and she's like, I'm in a difficult situation with my husband. Meanwhile, he's like the nicest person ever. He just like eats KFC and like leaves, a napkin around once in a while. Like, but she's like, I
Literally.
could use Millie. Anyways, so that's how Wendy hears about Millie. And so she ends up calling Millie and she's like, okay, here's Wendy starts making this plan with Russell. They decide that Wendy is going to pretend to be super abused by Douglas. Russell's going to pretend to be that Douglas. Wendy's going to hire Millie to help her get out of it. And they're going to kind of push Millie into corners that Millie will want to kill Douglas to save Wendy. Then they'll pin the
Mm-hmm.
murder on Millie. I forgot a
Mm-hmm.
part. And then they're going to actually kill Douglas because Millie's only
Yep.
going to pretend to kill the fake Douglas. But Millie will think that she murdered him. Then they'll do a little switch, kill the real Douglas, and then pin the real murder on Millie.
That was pretty good. The swaps or roozies, that was
That was
pretty
a
good.
good, I know, it's a good plan. Like, that's really tricky.
Yeah, because it's like when she goes to court and they're like, "Did you kill this man?" She'll be like, "No, I killed a different man." Like, okay.
I would just be so confused. They're like, what?
Oh my God. The cucamelons come up. So Frida starts
They
tying in
do.
all like the weird stuff. And she's like, Millie's actually a really good housemaid. She even found the cucamelons. And we start seeing how much Wendy's been plotting. So she pretended to have this allergy to all sorts of non-organic cleaner, which came up in the first part. But she
Mm-hmm.
did that so that the doorman wouldn't catch Millie lugging around bottles of floor cleaner and furniture polish. And I was like, okay, that's smart.
Yeah, it was smart. Because she
And then
needs
Wendy
Millie to
does
be the mistress, not the maid.
exactly. Um, and then Wendy is doing like a lot of like fake makeup to make her look like she's been bruised.
Yeah.
But then she needs Russell to like really punch her so that she's like bleeding. And that's how you get like the handprint and all of that. I was wondering though, would you hit would you hit someone just because they were saying like you're pathetic, this and that?
No, I mean, yeah, no, I don't think I could bring myself to hit somebody. The flip side though is that they did make this plan together.
Yeah.
Like the plan was that she was going to pretend to be an abused woman, and she brings up a realistic point of like, this doesn't look real yet. I need
Yeah.
actual injuries. And so I mean, no. But if you're already in on this plan of murdering someone, I think it's
Maybe.
reasonable that like, okay, fine, I'll punch you to make sure this
Hmm.
actually works.
Yeah,
So,
I could see that. Something else that's a big hole in this is that the real Douglas never shows up to the apartment. And maybe what she'd say, oh, he always comes in the back where there's no camera, which it's like, okay, I'm going to tell you something right now. If you're living in a really high end apartment building like that, they have camera. They don't have an entrance with no camera that everyone knows about. That's a huge like security breach.
yeah,
So that's
good point.
very weird. But I mean, I don't know. Like, wouldn't they see like his car or something? Like, I feel like they would be able to see that, or that they would be able to see that he has every single time Millie's been there, the real Douglas has, oh, he was in Long Island. He went to like this lobster bake with his
Yeah.
neighbors.
Okay, okay. Let's talk about this doorman. Okay, is it possible that people just don't know enough of what the real Douglas looks like that Wendy's been able to fool them all into thinking it's this Douglas? Because if he goes downstairs and says, "Hey, doorman, I'm Douglas Garrick on my way to work,"
Yeah.
and the doorman doesn't really know who Douglas Garrick is, maybe he's like, "Okay, sure, that's Douglas Garrick." And also, Amber thought that Millie and Douglas were having an affair. She strongly hinted at that, which makes
Well,
me
we don't
think,
know what
okay.
she strongly hinted at. Maybe what she was hinting at is you're going to Wendy's adultery pad.
Oh, okay, to do what? To have an
A
affair?
clean. I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe
oh,
she's just
just to
like,
clean.
maybe she's just like, oh yeah, like talk of the town, because it sounds like they were running all around town,
Oh,
and so maybe that's like a big drama spot, and so maybe that's all Amber was implying,
I
but
thought
we
she said
took it.
something. Mm-hmm. I
Let's
thought she
see, let's
said
go back.
something about though, like Douglas. Oh wait, I found it. I found it.
Ooh.
Um, Amber says, "Oh, I saw you on the street the other day, at near this building. Douglas Garrick lives there, doesn't he?" And then she says, I freeze, surprised that she's privy to that information. Maybe rich people know about all the rich people. She says, Yes, I'm working for the Garricks now. Amber, oh, is that what you're doing there? I'm sure you're making the most of it. Winks.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I don't know.
Yeah, that still sounds like a sex pad.
Yeah, it sounds suspicious. So, like, was Wendy planting the seeds in all the rich ladies' minds that she's like, oh, Douglas has been doing some weird things. I've seen another woman come be getting out of the apartment.
Maybe she's like, we have an open relationship, and that's where they take their other people.
No. Ooh, maybe. Ooh, okay. Maybe she was like, okay, everyone knows I'm having an affair, but it won't be as bad if Douglas had an affair first. So now she's making
Oh,
Millie come in
yeah.
and she's like, people are like, oh, how are you and Douglas? And she's like, well, Douglas has been cheating on me for years now.
Yeah, yeah.
I
He's been cheating
think,
on me for 10 years. We're like, oh, we thought you've only been together for 5. It's like, same thing. Same thing.
yeah. I consider all of his previous relationships also cheating on me.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how that plays out because I could see that where she's like, maybe she looked at the prenup and if he cheated, then it,
Probably
I
nothing
don't
because
know
he
why he
wrote
would,
it.
yeah, he wrote it. Why would he do that? He wouldn't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Also, I thought like for someone who is like as smart and conniving as this, like you don't read the prenup. This is the type of person where it's like it sounds like she wanted a divorce from the beginning, basically. It's like you would think that she would read the prenup and like that was her Bible. She'd read it every night, make sure that she knew every every clause, every single thing.
I know. Well, okay. On the one hand, really big document. So it's like, okay, sure. On the other hand, she at least says that they thought they would be together, that she thought that they would be together forever because she thought she could change him. So like maybe she still believed that at that moment. She's like, don't worry, I'll be able to fix him.
She just doesn't seem like the type of person that would leave as something as big as this money gap grab to chance like
Right.
that.
Yeah, that's true.
But she did. So now
Yeah,
she has to kill.
I guess so. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now when we're seeing her and Russell make this whole plan together, Russell's like, why don't you just sign the divorce papers and then you and I can be together? And I think I need to read this line because it's just so monstrous. Let me
Uh,
find it. Okay. He says, you could divorce him anyway and you could be with me. I'll leave Mary Beth, Wendy, but we'll be destitute.
uh,
Russell, no, we won't. He looks offended by the suggestion. I have my store and you could find something as well. We won't be destitute. Wendy thinks. Sometimes I feel like Russell and I are made for each other, but other times he says things like that. And she's just going on and on about how they're going to be so poor together and they could never be happy. So she has to kill Douglas to get the money so that then she and Russell can be together and have money. And that's the only way they'll be happy.
this is like straight up Black Widow vibes.
Oh
Like
my
she just
gosh.
marries people for money, kills the husband. I was listening to a podcast I've been listening to called My Favorite Murder. It's really good. And they did this one on this woman and she kept poisoning all of her husbands. She kept marrying them thinking that like they were gonna be together forever, and then she would give them like arsenic laced muffins and then they would
Oh my
die.
gosh.
And it
Oh my
happened like
gosh.
3 or 4 times. And then
They
they were
all
finally like,
died.
wait a minute, there's a trend, you know?
You're the common denominator here.
You're the common denominator here. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. Was Audrey the one who told Wendy about Millie?
Who's Audrey?
Oh, who? Amber. I confused Amber and Audrey. Never mind.
Okay.
Audrey did tell Wendy about Millie, but Audrey is just some other rich lady. Amber is the one who employed Millie.
Yeah. Well, why would Amber employ Millie if she knows that's why they hire her?
Okay, right? Does she? Is Amber not? Is she in the second tier of rich people? She's not in the first tier.
Maybe Millie had already killed her husband before we picked up on this. Maybe,
That's
maybe that's why we never hear about the husband. She already killed him. He's dead. And now Amber's like, you're fired.
That could be. I mean, Millie says she hasn't killed in a few years. So I think she's just normal housekeeper now.
Millie goes into a trance. She forgets when she kills people. When she turns into Killy, it's like a blackout. She's like, I don't know what I did for like these 2 buttons. I don't know. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think we've summarized, we've gone through the things, we've gone through holes. What do we think is going to happen next?
Well, did we actually talk about the murder part?
Oh, no, we didn't.
Yes, that's the last piece.
Okay, so now we're seeing through Wendy's perspective the past few weeks of Millie being there. And she's like, I've planted all the pieces of evidence that Millie and Douglas are having an affair. Fake Douglas has been coming every day. I've been like, putting on my makeup so Millie thinks that I'm being abused every night. Millie's totally on my side. They staged the murder with fake Douglas. And that was actually, yeah, with fake Douglas. Millie leaves. And then Wendy and Russell get back up, change costumes, and call Douglas over because Wendy's like, okay, Doug, I'm going to finally sign the divorce papers. Get over here now. And he's like, okay, great. So he comes out. He must rush over because this is all the same night. So he comes over to the apartment. And what's supposed to happen is Wendy walks in with real Douglas, and fake Douglas is going to be hiding there, and then he shoots real Douglas. But fake Douglas gets cold feet, and he's like, actually, I don't want to be a murderer. And Wendy's like, ugh, you fool.
Yeah.
So how are we ever going to be
panic
rich?
attack. He's having a panic
Yes.
attack in the corner and Douglas doesn't hear him.
I was shocked at that. I was like, even
Uh,
in a big apartment, I'm like, how do you not know?
I know.
I
All
don't
right.
know. I don't know. Okay. So Wendy sits real Douglas down on the couch. She says, I'll get you some water, then let's sign our divorce papers. Wendy goes in the kitchen, talks to fake Douglas, and says, come on, fake Douglas, you can do it. You can kill him. Fake Douglas says, no, I can't. Why don't you just sign the divorce papers? And she says, because then we'll never be rich. Duh. And then she's like, fine, I'll do it. So she, who has never murdered anyone before, grabs gloves so she won't have her fingerprints on the gun like any
She has
normal
yellow
person would
rubber
do.
kitchen gloves and she's going to kill Douglas.
Yeah. Okay. So she puts the gun in her cardigan. She brings Douglas some water. And then she does a little quick switcheroo and pulls out the gun. Or no, she doesn't yet. But she's still holding the rubber gloves. She's still
She
wearing
has
them.
Russell must be an idiot. She walks over. She has yellow rubber kitchen gloves holding into water with this gun in her cardigan, which you could clearly see. And he's like, let's sign the papers. And then she puts down the water. And he's like, you know what? Let's try and make it work. And, and she's like, no.
Well, okay, what she says is, what do you mean by make it work? And he's like, I'm envisioning we give all our money to charity. We sell this penthouse. We just live together in the suburbs. We could adopt children, maybe. We could think about that. We could spend our time volunteering. And these are like this is all of Wendy's nightmare. And she's like, wrong answer. She shoots him.
She shoots him. I mean, okay. Honestly, at this point, now I'm on Wendy's side. I'm like, Douglas, you know what this woman's about. Why would you even suggest such a thing as getting rid of all your money? Like, like, are you dumb? Like, he must not listen to anything she says. He knows nothing about her.
Yeah, he really doesn't. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm kind of like, maybe that's what it takes. Rubber gloves and a gun.
Wendy's only way out.
Okay, so I think the biggest plot hole of all of this is Russell's attorney friend.
Ooh.
Not Russell. Garrick, Douglas's attorney friend.
Oh.
Who did the prenup. Because Douglas was suspicious of Wendy from the beginning. That's why he staged this whole thing with the prenup. He's like, she's not going to want to sign it, so I need you to do it. So his friend has got to be like, things are weird. And I'm sure Douglas had divulged some of the information to him at some point. And he'll know, because he wrote it up, that there is this clause, if they've been cheating, that Wendy gets nothing.
Right.
So,
okay.
Go for it.
Well, okay, why don't you finish your thought, because I have a prediction based off that.
Well, I was just going to say, I think what's going to happen is they're going to be like, housemaid number one suspect. And then he's going to come in and be like, I think it's Wendy.
Okay, I think that could happen. I also think, what if that lawyer is the same as BrockBot lawyer? What do you
think? Oh my God. Well, because his name was Joe, like literally like Joe Schmo. And in this book, I feel like that means something. Fake. Yeah. He's like, my name's Joe Schmo. And now he's like, now I'm BrockBot.
No, I
could totally see that.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. It was Joe Bendick. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds fake. I was saying it fast to see if it would make me say something silly, but I couldn't come up with anything.
I mean, it has a lot of the same letters as Brock, but not exactly. But okay. So if Joe Bendick and Brock are really the same people, then this would mean real Douglas was a lot smarter than we thought, because he saw the whole Millie thing unfolding before Wendy did. Right? Yeah. Because he would have had to have known that there's this housemaid murder going around town. And he's like, I bet Wendy's going to use the housemaid to kill me. Better get ahead of her. And so he hires his attorney friend to start dating Millie so he can, like, get the inside scoop on what's going on with Wendy. And so Brock does that. And Millie tells Brock about, like, oh yeah, she's being abused or whatever. Um, then Brock is able to hear Millie's, like, interrogation thing. So now he knows some of the inside details of what actually happened. But real Douglas died, so he did not think that one
Yeah.
through.
So, okay, I think maybe what if Douglas, he sees that the cameras are out of commission.
Mm.
And then if Brock is his friend, he says, I'm dating this housemaid. Oh, and she says that she's working for you. That wouldn't make sense either. He'd be like, oh, she says that she's working for you in like the apartment. And he'd be like, I didn't hire her. And then maybe he's like, keep tabs on her. And that's why he's like trying to get the inside scoop and see what Wendy's up to.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Brock's the one who is the lead to Doug
Oh, yeah.
versus the other way around. I feel like that would be if they were like good friends, he'd be like, "Oh, my girlfriend said that she's working for you in your penthouse." And then Doug would be like, "What? That's crazy." And then he'd be like, "Well, I need to know what Wendy's up to. Like, why is she doing all this?"
Yeah. Hmm. The big hole, though, is real Douglas ended up dead.
He ended up dead, right? So it's like if he's smart, that's what I'm saying. It's like if he's smart enough to like figure all this stuff out, then he's smart enough not to get caught like this.
Right. Right.
Begging
Unless
for
he
his
faked the death. Did he send in a
that was
double?
oh,
Put in a
okay. So
bulletproof vest?
one thing that I did think of is that the fact that they let her go when they have all of this evidence is crazy. I was like, unless they got notification that he's actually not dead or something,
Oh, that's possible. Ooh, that's a good thought.
or
Because,
like,
yeah, that is strange.
right, or someone else is dead. I don't know. But I mean,
Hmm.
he
Yeah, that's a
seems
good
pretty
thought.
dead. Like, what if it was still blanks in there in that gun?
Right. I mean, I feel like Wendy would have changed it out unless Russell changed it back
Was
to
supposed to do
blanks.
it.
Oh, or he was supposed
Well,
to do it and he didn't.
yeah, and he got scared, or they forgot in like their rush.
Yeah, that's all possible.
But I feel like
But
they would know before they would interrogate her that he wasn't dead.
I know. Yeah, because if it was actually blanks, there wouldn't have been the crimson pool. Unless the blank
Unless
is
it
a
was
thing
like,
that, oh, the blank might have the crimson in it. That would be a much better setup.
oh.
Ooh. And so then he
But it
pretends to be
still
dead.
wouldn't. Right, I know. They're like, wait, he's still breathing. You
Try
know?
again.
Yeah. Hmm. Okay.
Um, hmm.
I think Doug's dead.
Yeah, I kind of
Although
see
with
that
this
being the
book,
only
maybe
way.
he's not. I could go either way.
I know, I know. Okay.
I just feel like what doesn't make sense though is that why would the police go to her house the next morning if he's not really dead?
Well, they at least need to think that he's dead.
Unless she shoots him. Maybe he's trying to get Wendy put in the slammer or something. And they're trying to get Millie to squeal on Wendy that it was like all her manipulations so that Doug can get her thrown in the slammer.
But as far as Millie's concerned, it was none of Wendy's manipulations. The worst
She's
Wendy
like,
did was hypnotize her with a gun.
yeah, and that would be contingent on Douglas knowing that there was going to be blanks in the gun.
That's a big gamble. Hmm.
And she says his chest isn't moving. I mean, he seems pretty dead. And his eyes rolled up in their socket. That it seems pretty dead. It seems like
Maybe
that
he
would be hard to
practiced.
fake. Could you imagine? Honey, what are you doing? I'm practicing to be dead.
The whole drive over. Wait,
Oh
let's
my
try this
God.
again. Okay. All right. So let's say Douglas is dead. Wendy killed him. Millie knows this was all a setup now. What's going to happen next?
Well, we have to end up in that weird cabin.
Right. Whose cabin is that? Brock's?
I
Is
would
it the
think it
suburb
would be,
house?
oh, it could be the suburb house.
What if it's the farm? Wendy's a random friend from Facebook.
Oh my God. That girl never existed. Um, I wonder, because the other thing is that if Wendy's really going to get away with this, she can't immediately be like, this is my boyfriend who's married. She can't, you know what I'm saying? She can't go public like that the next day
Uh-huh.
because that looks so suspicious.
Yeah.
Like her and Russell are going to have to put that on ice for a little bit, I would think.
Yeah. I guess that's true.
So maybe they go to this cabin or something to go. She's like, I need break from I'm so
Oh.
devastated. And then he's there,
Who's there?
Russell. And then they get to
Oh, yeah,
have
be
their
together.
lovers tryst. Yeah.
Okay. And then what would bring Millie there? She wants to kill Wendy?
Well, Millie probably calls Enzo. That's probably her next call. And she's like, we got to kill again.
But what would that
And
do? How would that fix it?
well, she doesn't say we need to kill, but in her heart, that's what she's going to do. But she's like, we need to go get Wendy and go get me out of this. And Enzo's like, I know a
Oh.
guy. I know where they are. And then they go there and then they cut the lights. They're the ones that are circling outside and it's Wendy in the inside. It's like, she's killed someone and she's going to kill again. And then they try to cat and mouse each other.
Ooh. Do you think Wendy's gonna kill Russell?
I could see Russell being like, I don't feel comfortable with this actually. And watching you kill him with those rubber gloves was the total ick for me. So
Kind of a turnoff, honestly.
it was a deal breaker. Not gonna lie. The fact that you killed your husband like that, deal breaker, I'm out. And then she's like, well, I can't have you running around with my secret.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Russell doesn't seem as in on it.
Russell, no. Mm-mm. He seems like a squealer. He
Right.
he gets picked up by the cops. He's spilling the beans.
Yeah, for sure. That's why they have to go out into a cabin. She needs him
Yeah.
away from the public eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he has that pesky wife to worry about, which now we know when Millie had seen Douglas when she was having dinner that other time and he was having a fight with his mistress, that was actually Russell with his real wife,
Mm-hmm.
the dumpy part of town.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, anyways, yeah.
I just think it's so like, ugh, that to the bitter end, Doug was begging for Wendy to stay married to him.
That was kind of weird.
Like, even at the, you're like, my God, have some self-respect.
No, I mean, I could see him wanting to like save things. Especially because if he hasn't talked to her in so long, he has no idea what she's been up to. I mean, he could assume that she's still with Russell. But
I'm
maybe
sure he
not.
knows. I'm just saying it's like you are a grown man. I feel like all the men in these books, they're just so like obsessed with these women who treat them like trash and they're like still committed. I mean, maybe that's it, that all these men are abused by Millie and Wendy. Because I mean, even Brock, we're like, Brock, leave.
Brock's wild. That's why he's hired by Douglas as the spy.
That's the only thing that would make sense is that he's not really her boyfriend. Because who would do that? But I guess Doug would do it. Doug would
Yeah,
still
I
be
guess that's
abused.
true. Guess that's true. Is there any chance Enzo hired Brock to be Millie's boyfriend in the meantime, kind of thing? Keep an eye on
Like
her.
keep an eye on her.
Yeah.
I feel like Enzo would have gotten someone better because this broccoli Rob, he can't do nothing right.
Can't even be a lawyer, right?
No, he can't even get her to show up to dinner. Like he can't keep any tabs on this woman. I feel like Enzo would have found someone better.
That's true.
I'm wondering how Enzo comes in on this, and I feel like Enzo is not going to be a good guy by the end of it.
You think?
Yeah, because I don't feel like they're going to end in the sunset again as Bonnie and Clyde.
Ooh.
I really feel like Enzo's in on it somehow.
Okay, okay. Wendy killed her husband. Russell wants out of the deal. Wendy's like, can't do that. You're going to tell my secret. Wendy remembers that Millie always worked with a sidekick. She goes back to ask, hey, who was that sidekick? She calls Ginger. Ginger says, oh, his name was Enzo. Here's his number. Wendy calls Enzo. Conveniently, he's back in the country now. Now, Enzo is going to help get rid of Russell. Although I feel like Enzo does good things. Maybe he'll get a new identity for Russell or something. But he's also going to get paid millions to do it because now Wendy's a gajillionaire, so she can afford it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that happens, but then they end up needing to kill Russell for whatever reason. Things don't go well.
I could see it. The only thing that, yeah, maybe Russell needs a new identity. The problem is that where Wendy wants to live is in New York City, and so she has to be able to be out in the open with her guy. And if Russell's running around the same city and now he's like, my name's Bob, people would be like, no, your name's Russell. Like they would know. You have to like move somewhere totally different. Like they'd have to go to Nebraska or something.
Well, I don't think they'd be together anymore.
Oh, because he wants out.
Yeah.
Russell. Yeah. Okay. I could see that. And she's like, Enzo, I need you to kidnap Russell, leave him penniless in a desert with a new identity.
A
That way he
picture of
can't come
Mary
back
Beth.
here. I feel like she would just kill him. Maybe
Yeah,
she'd be like, Enzo, I killed this guy. I need you to get rid of him. I don't know. I
but
mean,
that doesn't
honestly,
seem like Enzo would do that.
no, what's probably going to happen is that Enzo's going to come in and then they're going to end up as Bonnie and Clyde. Again, that's probably what's going to happen. But I want Enzo to be evil.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
I think that's it. I think I said all my predictions.
I think I had all of mine too. I wonder how long I have on this Kindle Unlimited.
Oh, that's right. You have a time limit.
Because we got slowed down. We got slowed down because of the trees falling on my house.
Multiple trees.
Multiple trees. But we're making good time now.
I know. Do we want to finish all of part 3 next? Because I realize there's 4 parts.
There's 4 parts. We should just finish the book.
Oh, okay. Just finish the book? Oh, wow. Yeah, I think
it's like 100 pages. I mean,
yeah, we should finish the book.
That's what I think.
Okay. Yeah, the next part is it's only 27 pages. Yeah. Okay, we get to finish the book now. Wow.
Woohoo!
That's exciting.
Yeah. Just knock it out. And I'll cancel my subscription. That's my dastardly plot.
Keep getting new email accounts to
oh my God.
Kindles.
Could you imagine?
Okay, well, thanks for listening to this episode of The Housemaid. We hope you loved it. Let us know your predictions. Answer our poll. Send us an email, booklicious.pod@gmail.com. Leave a review.
Yep.
Love to hear from you.
Love to hear from you. We definitely need some 5 stars. It's been a little bit since we got our last 5 star. So that could be you. You could be that person.
Yep. Congrats. Oh,
Okay.
we forgot to do our 1 year ago thing.
Oh, let's save it for next time.
All right. We'll leave you on that cliffhanger. All right. See you then. Love you.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Bye.